Warren. Senator Scott, please.
Thank you, Chairman Reid. Dr. Nasser, you tweeted against the Trump administration in 2019 that he was costing the U.S. credibility and creating instability. We heard this week from General Milley, and he said that President Biden's decision to leave Americans and the Afghan partners behind in Afghanistan and allowing the Taliban to take over has done substantial damage to American credibility. So for both of you, do you think that the withdrawal, the way we've done the withdrawal, has impacted American credibility?
I think the entire end game in Afghanistan has damaged American credibility. We waged our longest war in this country and then ended up negotiating an unhappy agreement with an enemy that we said we would never talk to. And then we withdrew very rapidly, and what we hoped would stand up when we go collapsed completely. And so we are in a position where our ability to see through our projects are suspect, our ability to stick with our strategies are suspect, and also our ability to execute our policies are suspect. So I agree. I do think the whole thing has damaged our credibility.
I agree with Dr. Nasser. I think the whole end game here has damaged our credibility. I think particularly this year, the scenes we witnessed in Kabul, as somebody who monitors the jihadi world very closely, those scenes are playing out across the world right now in recruitment videos and propaganda and media. They took the last shot of the last American soldier leaving Kabul, which CENTCOM put online for some reason. They take that shot and they put it next to the last Soviets leaving Afghanistan and next to an image that's supposed to be the British leaving. And what the jihadis around the world are saying is, see, we defeated the Americans just as the Soviets and the Brits were defeated here.
Would each of you and do you think the American people should view the Pakistan as an ally? And do you think if so, do you think they'll remain an ally?
Pakistan was not an ally on our project in Afghanistan. Their interests were not aligned with ours. They wanted a different kind of government in Kabul, and they bet on the Taliban to bring it about. And we continuously were trying to square the circle with the Taliban and with Pakistan, and it didn't work.
No, Pakistan is not our ally. Pakistan was the Taliban's ally, and they helped defeat us in this war.
So who right now, based on our lack of credibility and just not the lack of relationships, who's going to be our ally over there to fight terrorism?
Among the major countries that are around Afghanistan, we don't have a very obvious ally because China, Iran, and Russia are not likely to be cooperating with the United States closely on counterterrorism. Pakistan remains to be seen. We might get some things from Pakistan on the margins, but not if it means bringing down the Taliban or completely changing the composition in Kabul. So we're left to be working with our Persian Gulf Arab allies like Qatar, UAE, or with Uzbekistan and the like on these sets of issues. So we don't have an obvious strong ally over there.
I agree with that, too. I think we don't have an obvious strong ally. We certainly don't have any allies in theater right now. And I think regionally, the situation is, of course, a mess. We don't even have any basing around Afghanistan right now to conduct operations. So I don't think we have any clear alliances against the jihadis right now.
So how's this going to impact, how's our withdrawal from Afghanistan going to impact India?
My understanding, talking to a lot of people there, is that they're very worried about first of all, Pakistan becoming much more bullish now that the United States has left and their allies have taken over Afghanistan. And secondly, that they will be cut off from Central Asia because they also are losing their footprint of access through Iran as well. And that is all to China's benefit. And finally, they're worried that Afghanistan may become a base of operations against India.
One of the ways that al-Qaeda's presence in Afghanistan was underestimated was the role of Kashmiri jihadists who were going to Afghanistan for training and then going back to Kashmir to fight Indian forces. And in fact, for a time, one of al-Qaeda's biggest paramilitary commanders, the biggest paramilitary commander in Afghanistan, had fought in Kashmir, named Ilyas Kashmiri. They've had their sights on Kashmir and fighting Indian forces there all along. I expect to see an uptick in operations there. There's also a footprint, a terrorist cellular footprint in India itself, and I expect you're going to see more operations inside India.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Reed.
Thank you.